Hello and welcome to IMS Today. This is SAJAL KULSHRESTH with our guest of honor, Dr. Shikha Bhardwaj, Assistant Professor and Organizational Behavior and Human Resource at IIM Sambalpur. Words cannot do justice to what her contribution has been to the field of education. Coming back to you, ma'am, what do you feel that impact of National Education Policy 2022 has been on the Indian education system?
Thank you, Sajal. I think NEP by far have brought in a lot of flexibility in the education. And I think with NEP, automatically the difference between what we say government and private and autonomous, all these things will dilute over a period of time, because it's more about education, it's more about degree, it's more about how much credit a student can earn, it's more about what subject the student wants to take instead of the brand which they want to go. So NEP, with a lot of flexibility coming in, like the credit change or the courses, the liberal studies and liberal subjects, it has brought a lot of I think clarity in terms of giving lot of options to the students, a lot of areas for for educational institutions to work upon themselves. It will break the compartments. It will break that traditionally set up competition between the institutions, and at the end of the day, I think the gain would be of student. So NEP has a very brighter side of it. However, we have been into that system of non-NEP earlier. So we will take our own time to adjust and to accommodate and come out with policy, etc., etc. And I'm sure we will start with the things which are easily adjustable, accommodatable. But nonetheless, it's a good move. I fully in agreement with the government move, and I feel that in the larger perspective, in times to come, it's going to be a good one.
That's definitely a point to be noted, ma'am. Moving on, I would really like to ask that, we all have passed through the COVID era, and we have seen how technology and education go hand in hand. What's your opinion on, involvement of technology with education?
Now, that's an interesting question, In fact, having said that, technology was never been away from any branch per se or any industry per se, but education has been hit hard by technology during COVID. And I think today, as teachers also, we all are very well aware of what is WebEx and what is Zoom Meets and what is Google Meets and all those things. So it is interesting. But anyways, I think this is also brought in to a fact that nowadays, when we talk about leadership as a trait, digital leadership is a thing which is in, and institutions or curriculums or education system should also focus highly upon digitalization, right?
That's what we actually also feel, how technology has made it quite easier for the students to learn. Well, moving on, I would really like to ask, ma'am, how does a student get prepared themselves, for the research field wherein you have been working for quite a long period of time? Anything you want to say regarding that?
Now, that is again a very intriguing and interesting thing. And frankly speaking, a lot of people have asked me about this in IMS. I feel research is a very inner calling. People who are interested into research, they are interested. And research does not mean only paper publication. Research means that there is some sort of inner desire to study something and study it deeply. If a student has it, then he or she should function upon it. Now, what are the good things about research? First, if anybody is looking for CV development, as in make sure that their resume has been built the way they want it and to have some sort of X factor, research can bring in. Second, research is the only thing with which, when you publish something, you can always game it, or you can always claim it across your life that you have done it. Nobody else can take away from you, right? So if you have written one article in the newspaper, it's written forever. Nobody can ever take it from you, right? So that's a very huge advantage of saying and owning a thing. Right? Tomorrow you may own a business, but that's tomorrow. What you can do today do is basically write an article. So that's how I think the sense of ownership is very high when you do research. The third thing is, I think a lot of people, when I meet them now, generally people who are very fond of research, they find something or the other as very inquisitive and as very, curious about knowing how it is being done. So research is something which is a mindset actually. When you start thinking everything with a question mark that, why did this happen? Research is very phenomenally there. Because at least in universities outside India, they're looking for candidates who have strong potential into research. Right? So all those students who want to go for any further degree or higher education, particularly outside India, they can always invest into research. That's one of the game changer. That's how it is.
That's definitely a point, ma'am. And also I would like to say that research wasn't something that curates out of anywhere, but it's something that that is just lying on their table on. We just need to see it from a different angle. Definitely. Moving on, ma'am, I wanted to ask that what are some conventional methods that institutes have been following for many years, but you seek as a change that management should bring into play?
So if you ask me that question, I am, as a person, I'm a rebel. So I am generally not into the definitions which people say. So I definitely do not like much of the concept when, students are being told that come into one sort of uniform, stand in one sort of way, speak in one sort of way, make same CV, give same introduction. Because I think companies are smart enough, they know what they are looking for, and they are probably not looking for similar things. Anyways, when I talk about management, what you are saying, the management of educational institutions, I think we should adopt certain practices from Western world. And in Western world, it is very clear that the management, the owners and the founders of an educational institution are three different parties. Right? And unfortunately or fortunately in India, they are very coincidental. People who are founding are the management and are the owners. And these are three different branches actually. If one understands that my boundary spanning is only to own a business, because for them it's just a business, it's an institution which they own. It does not mean that the owner know how to manage it. A management is basically how to manage. It does not mean that they own it. Right? So these are technically, if we should in fact learn this from the Western world, that these are three different zones. The people who found it, the people who manage it, and people who own it have to be three different parties. And these three different stakeholders, if understand their role and they have their own boundary spanning, education institution will automatically flourish.
Moreover, if things have quite been said out by you, I just wanted to move on to the next question that we have on our list is any piece of advice if you were like to give out of a bag of experiences that you have gained throughout your journey to the students at IMS Ghaziabad.
So my piece of advice to the students of IMS Ghaziabad would be is while you are grooming yourself or learning each day, it's bound to happen that you will find a couple of people who are better than you, and it's bound to happen that you will find a couple of people who are lesser than you. It is going to be always your choice, where do you want to go. You want to see people who are higher than you or who are lesser than you. But then in this journey of identifying where do you want to go, please don't lose yourself. Right? Because no matter whatsoever you follow, whether it is people higher than you or lesser than you, whatever you are, right? And nobody can take away from you that. And also I believe that as far as I have seen my own self or my own career and people around me, the people who have been average have performed well, phenomenally. So be proud that if you fall into the category of averages, because averages actually changes the ball game. So if you are into averages, feel happy about it, make yourself shine, work upon yourself, and do not get succumbed to the situations which are around them, because competition is everywhere. You have to just find your way out. Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a point to be noted on a very motivational note, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here with us today. Thank you so much, for imparting and sharing your knowledge and wisdom. This is SAJAL KULSHRESTH, cameraman Shobh Dikshit, IMS Today.